thing is lit up red.
Target.
It looks like someone got red dot on your chest.
Jody.
Right. Hello, everybody, and I'll call our regular public council meeting for Monday, January 11th, 2021 to order. Just got a quick couple of housekeeping items. As per normal, if anybody has any questions they'd like to ask in the first Q&A or the second, please send them along to apico@torbay.ca, and we'll try and address them during the meeting. We do have, we get a motion, but we'll do our agenda items first. So, new business. Councillor Glenn.
I just want to say thanks.
Thanks. Councillor Pollard.
Pass.
Councillor Thorne-Goss.
Greetings.
Councillor Roach.
Thank you.
Councillor Martin.
Greetings.
And I got a congratulations, I guess, or thanks, whatever. And Deputy Mayor is not able to join us. Okay, could I get a motion to adopt the agenda as amended, please? We don't have any questions, do we, Ann? Okay, thank you.
As amended?
As presented.
So
Amended,
moved.
because I amended it.
Second.
We can speak to it now in a second.
Oh, what?
Did you add the additional motion? There's additional motion that goes in
Yeah, they're there.
under finance amendment?
Yeah. That's in the paper copy.
Is
So
it?
we got a motion there, we'll add that too.
Okay.
Now can I have a motion to adopt as amended? Was it pretty weak?
That was already done a second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Sorry, Your Worship.
Holy moly. Anyway, so we have a motion here, that we need to do first, so I'll pass that over to Councillor Pollard.
Oh, we're going to do it now, are we? Sorry.
Yeah.
Referencing motion 224-2020, whereby we appointed Ann Pico as acting administrative office CAO, acting CAO and town clerk until January 13th, 2021. We need to amend the time frame, so I have a motion here that Deputy Clerk Ann Pico continue as acting Chief Administrative Officer, Town Clerk until a further motion of council or until the return of the incumbent CAO, Town Clerk. So moved. Second.
Moved, seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right. We have a set of public council minutes here from December 14th. Could I get a motion to adopt those, please?
So moved.
Second.
Seconder, any errors or omissions? Seeing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right, proclamations, presentations, question and answer. We don't have any questions. We do have a presentation. And as we did before Christmas, we presented Councillor Thorne-Goss with her 16 years of service award from the Department of Environment, Climate Change and Municipalities. And luckily tonight, Councillor Roach is here, and we're going to present her with her 20 years of service award. And before we get up, I'll just hold this up here so people can see it, if they can see it.
Nice.
And it says, Environment, Climate Change and Municipalities would like to officially recognize Peggy Roach for 20 years of dedicated municipal leadership to the town of Torbay, Councillor and Deputy Mayor. Signed November 7, 2020 by Minister of Environment, Climate Change and Municipalities, Derek Bennett. So before we get up with that now, Peggy, when we present that, I just want to say congratulations from me to you. And, you know, we've been together on council now for 7, almost 8 years. And when you look at somebody who's been here for 20, and I don't think this includes this current term, so now you're looking at 24. That's 5 or 6 elections where the people of Torbay have put confidence in Peggy Roach to put her here on council. And I think that's really something to be proud of.
It is.
you know,
You know,
especially for
and,
somebody from St. John's. But I think you've been here. You've been here for so long now, Peggy, that you're not a St. John's person anymore. You're
No.
Torbay all
that's
through and
there in
through.
the back of my mind.
You know, and you know, you made in 20 years, you've seen a lot of members of council come through this door, and staff, and you know, mayors, and you know, I'm sure you've seen a lot, and I heard a lot of stories. You tell me a lot of things, and you know, you've been a great mentor for me since I've been here, and I really appreciate
That's
the time.
really good to know. Thank
The
you
time
very
that we
much.
spent on council together, I really appreciate it. I thank you for that. And with that, I would offer up if anybody else has anything like to say.
Oh my
before
God,
we
you're
get
going to
up.
have me in tears?
Did you have something you'd like to say?
Yes, I'd like to say, I've been very privileged, as a matter of fact, over the years. And, you know, you meet with people and you gather together and you're trying to do something that is really, is really important. And we all don't get along in certain ways, you know. We all have our own ways, okay? And sometimes I can get on people's nerves, but that's not intentional, really not. But anyway, this I think was one of the best ones.
Right.
Mary knows, she's been with us all, and the staff have been great, you know, and so I'm very privileged to be with you again tonight.
Excellent.
And, you know, and say thank you to all of you for your support over the years. Mary, I'm going to leave my husband to her. I'm going to leave my husband to her. He's a good, stable man. But you got to put stuff on my eyes first. I'm joking. We joke like this, so I hope I'm not, you know, making anybody feel squeamish or something, because we have wonderful telephone calls, and Justin, and you know, you always knew I could look up to you anyway.
Yeah.
And I got a little few names for you tonight.
Excellent. Okay, so we get up and take pictures. Anybody else, do you have anything? Oh, go ahead, Mary.
Well, I'd just like to congratulate Councillor Roach on her 20 years of service. I've been there, I guess, for the duration of that, except for one term.
Yes.
And she brings a lot to the table and a lot of experience and what have you. So I've enjoyed working with you.
Thank you.
And while we don't always agree, we've never taken it beyond
No.
the
It's
chambers.
It's left here.
And I guess if everybody agreed, there'd be something wrong. So that's not the intent for everybody to agree all the time. So congratulations and
Thank you.
all the best.
Thank you.
It's good to see you
Oh,
back tonight.
It's good to be back. You know, I was pondering, and Will said, maybe you should go down, you know, and all this stuff. And I said, well, I don't know if I should, because I don't know if I, you know, can, whatever like that. So between the run and the phone there today, and I got himself, or he self called me or whatever, and said, welcome back.
Yeah.
And you do feel welcome when you come in here. And I don't think anybody can go out of this chambers and say that they weren't well represented and very courteous, you know, with staff and council and all that. And we did what we could for whatever came to us. And that's all we can do.
Yep.
And thank you.
Jeff or Tony, sorry.
Thank you, Your Worship. Yes, I just want to offer my congratulations, Councillor Roach. I tell you, it's and thanks too, actually, as a resident of Torbay for your time and dedication put on council. I think it's important that people recognize, 20 years is a long time, and you've met your share of frustrations over those years too, I would imagine, as has Councillor Thorne-Goss. And you know, certainly thank you for your time and energy, because it does take a lot of time. People not on council don't truly understand and realize what it takes to sit at the table, and they see you at the table, but they don't understand what goes on behind the scenes. So once again, congratulations on 20 years, and thanks for your time and energy put in.
And thank you, too, for your support and everybody's support here. This is getting to be an evening now. Sorry, I didn't mean to take up your time.
Well, Peggy, I figured that you've given the town 20 years. They can probably give you about 10 minutes of a bit of praise, bit of feedback. You know, Anyway, Peggy, I just want to say again, as a resident, and as a colleague, I just want to say thank you very much. You're actually the only councillor that's still here for my first term, right? So you and I have served. You've been here the entire time I've been here, and everyone's got their strengths and weaknesses, and some people are policy nerds, and some people are Facebook specialists, and some people like to yell, some people like to scream, and some people like to do things but quiet. And I actually think of all the things that you've taught to me over the whole time, literally the whole time I've been here, is that everyone's got their things, but I always thought that you were kind of the heart of the council. That's the one thing. Anytime people are going back and forth what we should do or not do, and whenever you did, when you throw in your 2 cents, I always knew it was from the right place, and it was just from the pure heartness of it all, right? And sometimes that even cut through the policy of the this or the that or the presidents, or it was just a really good point of view. And I think a lot of ways it certainly grounded me. We're in the back room debating stuff, and I think you had a really good influence on this council, on this town for a very long time. So thank you very much, Peggy.
Thank you very much yourself.
I also want to extend thank you to you. You've been a very good mentor as a first-time councillor.
Oh my gosh.
I really enjoyed, especially hearing all the stories over the years, and and looking at the dynamics from say 2003 to now. I really appreciate all the advice you've given me, and I certainly look up to you, and I feel everyone here looks up to you, and you're certainly the balance of reason in council. That really extend thanks to appreciate.
My little boy. The other little boy grew up. He's the mayor.
Well, I certainly know what Justin's talking about, because we sat together right next to each other for the first term of council, and you were like my mother on council. It's like, you treated me like your son, and I really appreciate
I
it.
requested this seat. At the beginning, I requested this seat specifically for that.
So with all that said, we'll get up now and we'll get a
Oh,
picture.
that's wonderful.
I'll present you with your award.
Oh, that
In the
way.
middle there,
This
Peggy.
way, is it? In the middle, is it? Okay. I gotta, wait a minute, I gotta make sure this goes around. Oh, yes, it's on. I don't have those clothes. I got to say something.
Stand there, Vicky. And we have these. But we will, at some point, when this COVID is all over.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And Mary knows what I'm going to say now. You know what I'm talking about, right? When I first came on council, or when Mary first
You
came
telling
on
any
council-
bad stories now, Peg?
No, I have to tell you, I'll take your time.
Sit down, Peggy, do it at your microphone so everybody can hear you.
Yeah, okay. Well, when Mary first came on council, how can I put it that way? We're very passionate people. And sometimes when you get passionate people together, the talents come out because they're so
That's a good
passionate
story
over-
now.
But they were. I didn't have any nails then, only falsies, so I couldn't dig them in. But anyway, over the years, I learned very quickly that Mary is really a great woman and someone to look up to as well. And you can change like that your opinion on someone. You've got to get to know people. Sometimes you see somebody, oh, he's this and he's that. Did you meet him? Did you talk to him? No. Talk to someone. And that's a bit of advice that I found out through the years. And you will find there's a soul and a heart behind that person bigger than you ever thought. And she's always been there in my corner for me. When I had cancer and all that stuff, first one there. And I thank you all for it. And for the lovely flowers she sent me when I was off this tint. So that's just a little bit of advice, because some people hold grudges. I never did. And it's no good to you because you're not hurting anybody else, only yourself. Just throw it out, have your say, get your gloves off and then do what you gotta do and all that stuff, and then throw it away. It's gone now. Go on with your life, because you're only hurting yourself. But everybody here, I think, I always called you my council family, and you were, because we spent more time sometimes together than our own families did with us, you know. And it was always someone you can pick up a phone and say, what's going on now? What do you think they're going to do? You know, but you got to, okay, I'll shut up now because I know I'm taking up your time. But for those people who weren't here, I know that the staff have, and there's another little boy I had, look right here. And of course Jeff came along and I had to take me in. But in walks some cell phones, and he knew it all. And he did. He really did. Honest to my God, I was surprised. But anyway, I didn't know him. I never knew you before that. But you're fantastic too. And anyway, everybody now keep doing what you're doing, and you know, remember we're here for the residents, not for our little bit of money we get, or to this or bit of fame, or to go on to another step. But the residents mean everything to us, and the environment.
Peggy, that's some excellent advice, and particularly the part about you have your say here and then let it go, because
Yes,
you don't want to be carrying this stuff around with you. You know,
No. And
it shouldn't be
then-
personal.
Yeah, and then hurting people,
Yeah.
you know.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome. I'll be starting up my own service now, so you can call me at. I'm only joking.
All right. Okay, now, moving on, mayor's report. The only thing I'm going to put on the mayor's report tonight is the staff birthdays for the month of January. Roxanne Waterman, Corporate Services, and Mac Douglas, Recreation and Community Services. I think there were some councillor birthdays in January too, I'm not sure. Thought I remember seeing them, but if there was, happy birthday, everybody. If I missed you, sorry, we'll get you added to the
February
list.
there is.
All right. Any business arising from the minutes? No? Okay. Correspondence. We have several correspondence here. One from a correspondence from the Government of Newfoundland Labrador Environment Climate Change Municipalities. And this is regarding our application that we did just before Christmas for upgrades to the old depot for the fire department. It's just telling us that the project has been awarded, so that's good news. We have a receipt for our budget submission that was sent into the government on December the 15th. We have one here from Department of Transportation and Infrastructure. And this is more good news. It's approval to award the contract for our water system upgrades, a leak detection program, and that was dated December 16th. And we have another one from Department of Transportation and Infrastructure, specification front-end website relocation. That's just some housekeeping stuff for staff. We have a correspondence here from Heritage Newfoundland. We'll forward that on to our Economic Development Committee. We have a correspondence here from the town of Luggy Bay, Middle Cove, Outer Cove. It's a referral for a plan update that's being dealt with in our planning report, right?
No, different one.
Oh, it's a different one? Okay, this one will be sent out to planning then, have a look at. We have one here that I'm going to elaborate a little extra on. So last year, and for the last couple of years, the town has been sponsoring Team Perry, curling team. They're a group of young curlers, and I don't know if they're all from Torbay, but certainly one of them is, Nicholas Codner. And they just sent us a mid-season update, letting us know how they've been doing this year. It looks like they've been winning quite a bit. And I did respond to them to their email. I congratulated them on what they've been doing and wished them good luck in 2021. So it was nice to be able to see that. It's funny, sometimes that we get all these donation requests from people, different groups and teams and classes at schools and everything. It's really appreciated that they did send us back this update, just to let us know how they're doing. And if I'd like it if more of the groups that we did the sponsorships for did that, just let us know how you made out or what you did. So I think that was really nice of them, and I certainly, on behalf of council and the town, I appreciate that. Any questions on any of those? No? Okay. Committees of Council. Planning, Land Use Development. Councillor Martin.
Thank you. Motions report is enclosed for a committee meeting of January 5th for tonight's meeting. We have some motions. The first one is application C 2020-176, which is an in-law suite at 11 Bournes Close. So there is some background enclosed, and we are recommending, we do have a recommendation in as well. The applicant wanted to put an in-law suite in for family use. We did receive four responses from concerned citizens, 2 in writing and 2 by telephone, concerning the fact that such apartment could easily transition into a rental apartment. And I believe there's a covenant in that dwelling saying that there's no rentals. So taking all that into consideration and review of the expressed concerns from the residents, I'm hereby presenting the following motion, which is to refuse the proposed in-law suite at 11 Bournes Close in accordance with regulations 33 and 90 due to the following reasons. Reason A, the proposal is contrary to Schedule A definitions as it exceeds the maximum number permitted, number of 1 bedroom, and reason B, a number of concerns received by 4 different property owners in the area in response to public notice. So moved.
Second.
Over, seconder, any comments or questions? I have a question. The fact that there's covenant in that subdivision, that's irrelevant to us, right, as the town, because we're not party to the covenant. Okay, so the decision that we're making here has nothing to do with the covenant. I just want to make sure to be clear on that, because we've had this discussion before at council with regards to developers having covenants within their subdivisions. It's more of a selling feature really for the subdivision. It's not something that the town is signed on to and party to.
We're privy to or linked to regulations 33 and 90. That's
Okay.
the merit of my motion.
All right, thank you. I just wanted to make sure that was clear, so that in case somebody is reading this package and they see, in case something ever came up in the future, that's all.
Thank you.
All right.
There's probably one question on that. In one of the responses, I guess, from residents, that they made reference to another house on Bournes Close that actually had an apartment. Do we know for certainty whether or not that did or did not occur, or was there a motion of council to approve that or not approve it, or does anyone know?
I'm going to yield that to Director Shorts, if I may.
A couple of the respondents mentioned that there's another apartment there that people didn't agree with, but they wouldn't say where. So I didn't look into it. Yeah, so that's the answer to that.
Yeah, so we didn't have the location in question to investigate, so we can't investigate until we retain any additional information.
Okay. All right, Councillor Gott?
Okay, there was much discussion went into this, and one of the letters that we received that were against this in-law apartment, there was 11 concerns, and each one of them were very valid. One of the biggest concerns is the fact of what will happen once the in-laws move out or move on. Then there's an in-law apartment, or an apartment that's there in an area that people bought homes, rightly or wrongly, expecting that there would not be apartments in that particular area. So from a resident's perspective, that's what they had been told. Also, an in-law apartment is supposed to have 1 bedroom, and this particular apartment, they're asking for 2 bedrooms. And I guess the residents all made it quite clear that in no way, shape, or form are they against the in-laws moving in, but they are in particular against having an apartment in the area that they rightfully bought and were told that there would be no apartments. As for the apartment that's already there, there was a few phone calls and people did not want to get involved with who said what and report it, but I guess it'll probably end up coming to light further. And most likely probably didn't have a permit to put the apartment there, so that's the reasoning behind it. So after much discussion, we went with this because of the, in particular, one letter that was wrote there.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, anybody else? No? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Thank you. And the next one is a,
Just quick, so in favor of rejection, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Big sure.
okay. So the next one is a referral from Town of Logie Bay, Middle Cove, Outer Cove. It's concerning the St. John's Urban Regional Plan Amendment, excuse me, 8/2020. So back in the day, there was a regional plan. There was a ski hill back in the day over there, and there's a mapping amendment to the regional plan in the area. So Logie Bay, Middle Cove, Outer Cove asked us if we had any concerns with their amendment, and we reviewed, and we cited no concerns with their proposal as it's fully located in their boundary. So our recommendation is as presented, a motion to advise the Town of Logie Bay, Middle Cove, Outer Cove, confirming that the Town of Torbay has reviewed proposed background and amendment documents, and that the town has no subject to proposed St. John's Urban Regional Plan Amendment 8/2020. So moved.
Second.
Mover and seconder, any questions, comments? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Thank you. And attached are the final permit listings for the year 2020. And the town had a very active year in 2020 with the issuance of 70 approvals in principle, 150 building permits with a construction value of over $9 million, including 20 new dwellings and 15 business permits to operate. Also attached are new permit listings for the period of December 11, 2020 to January 7, 2021, and the 2020 permit listings, as well as permit listings for the period of December 11, 2020 to January 7, 2021, are attached in form part of this motion report. So the recommendation motion as presented is to accept the final permit listings for the year 2020, as well as permit listings for the period of December 11, 2020 to January 7, 2021, as presented. So moved.
Second.
Or seconder, questions, comments?
Just got a comment,
Go ahead.
I'm going to put it in here because I keep forgetting about it.
All right,
And it's more, I guess, to having a report is probably with regards to Director Swartz. It's hard to know now, we really don't know if we're voting on permits. It could be a conflict. And a couple of years ago, or prior, I guess, when Director Winter was here, he used to pass around a sheet advising people where the permits, what we were actually voting on, so that we could refrain, because it'll be too bad if somewhere down the road, if somebody here is after voting on something and not knowing about it. So I guess what I'm asking is, in the future, there will be a report done up on the approvals that have been given, and the name and the address put on it, so that council will know if they're in conflict from a particular building that's permit that's been granted. And I guess Director Winter, we can fill you in probably on what he used to do, but I keep forgetting about bringing it up in our committee meetings. And now that it's there, I figured it's a good time to bring it forward.
okay. And that's, just to be clear, that's for the motions that we're voting on at a council meeting, in particular.
Yeah.
Not the report of applications that have, like the permit listing, because we're not voting on those.
No, anything that we're voting
just
on.
accepting a report, okay. All right.
Okay, and just a brief review of the minutes from our January 5th.
Can we vote, hang
No,
on,
we
we're
got to-
going to vote
Oh,
on
we
that
didn't
first.
vote, sorry.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oh, Go ahead, Jeff. Yeah,
I'm sorry, Mr. Brown, I lost my place.
turn your mic on. We're just at the permit listings, the ones that have already been approved.
Page 44 of 117.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I got you. I thought I was missing a page, but I'm good.
All right, okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Right.
Opposed? Carried.
Okay. And at our January 5th meeting, we discussed a status of a stop work order that was issued in 14 and 18 Gallows Cove Road. A response is, an update is provided in the minutes. We also discussed the 11 warrants closed that we had just voted on, as well as open space allocations, a meeting for the Kennedy's Brook Phase 1 with the developer. We also briefly discussed long-term planning amendments and policy development, which were primarily the 2021 budget, department highlights, development guideline review, town centre development scheme, and the neighbourhood watch program. We also discussed the environmental advisory committee scheduling the quarterly meetings and adapting to the new protocols in place, as well as the TD Green Space Grant, climate change action plan, and water allocation status update. And other than that, there's some correspondence that was included there, as well as the Municipal Enforcement Protective Services report, and that ends my report, Your Worship.
All right, thank you.
Or sorry, we did, there was one more page. We also briefly discussed firework regulations as well,
Okay.
due to various noise complaints received from New Year's weekend. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Any questions on any of that? No? All right. Thank you. Admin and Finance, Councillor Pollard.
Thank you, Your Worship. We didn't meet, but as you might appreciate from the time that we last met till now, there are a few invoices that definitely need approval. So the first one are the grouping of the, essentially the mandatories, that we say. So Receiver General, November 16th to the 30th for payroll deductions in the amount of $20,454.39. Receiver General for December 1st to the 15th, payroll deductions in the amount of $22,914.78. Trio Group Benefits for December 2020 in the amount of $13,781.59. CIBC Mellon, December 20th pension deductions in the amount of $20,340.66. Newfoundland Exchequer, the December payroll tax in the amount of $6,648.17. Newfoundland Power for November 20th street lighting in the amount of $20,018.18. And Group Electricity for December 2020 in the amount of $15,119.02. Three commissioners' invoices there, one for November 1st to the 14th for $5,152, the 15th to the 28th of November for $5,152, and November 29th to December 12th in the amount of $5,152. And T2 Ventures, November garbage and recycling in the amount of $42,771.95, all totaling $177,504.74. So moved.
Second.
Over to seconder. Questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
The next ones are for the non-routine, mainly tied to projects that are ongoing or completed. Grand Concourse Authority for the Motion Drive Playground, the upgrade of the equipment there, $57,203.44. Tract Consulting for the fourth billing on the economic roadmap in the amount of $9,594.31. Xylem for the lift station upgrade in the amount of $39,462.64. Blue Water Marine and Equipment Limited for the Volunteer Fire Department rescue boat and trailer in the amount of $8,970. Progressive Engineering for the gas tax project, and the final engineering invoice in the amount of $21,808.31. That had to do with the Shays Lane, by the way. Progressive Engineering, upper three-corner softball lights, final engineering invoice in the amount of $12,073.56. J.D. Miles Construction, the first claim in the amount of $45,866.03, as well as second claim in the amount of $34,729.43. Wood Environment Infrastructure for the North Pond Water Treatment Plant application in the amount of $12,121. As well for the Torbay Water Sampling Program in the amount of $7,024.66. And there's one for Eagle View Pictometry Canada in the amount of $6,019.96, and the amount of $254,873.34. So moved.
Second.
Mover, seconder, comments, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Your Worship, there's a motion here for us to enter into, well, actually to allow TD to, and us to get into agreement for a credit facility, as they call it, because they were the successful bank to get the loan for the lighting arrangement in Upper Three Corner Pond, so they need information around the town. So the motion that the town of Torbay enter into a general security agreement with TD Bank to proceed with the Upper Three Corner Pond Park softball light installation loan. So moved.
Second.
Mover and seconder, comments or questions? Go ahead. I have a question, or a comment, I guess, and a question. I've seen the picture that Director Witter sent around of the lights on, and they look really good, and the poles are a lot higher. There was something that you said was specific about them, that they're the only ones in the province that, do you mind?
Yeah, according to the electrician who installed all the Musco systems in the province, they're the first LED lights in the province.
Oh, okay. I know. So that should really help with our operating costs in there with the lights on.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what the utility bill is going to be
Okay,
once we use them for a bit.
that's pretty cool. I saw them on, they were pretty bright.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that's all I want to say.
I think new ones. Okay.
They are new.
Exactly, that's it.
Yeah. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Your Worship, we have to appoint a commissioner, actually, for the assessment review. So I have a motion here that further to RFP 2019-01, Resolution 40, 2019, and Section 32 of the Assessment Act, the Town of Torbay appoints Donald C. Peckham as the Assessment Review Commissioner for the 2021 calendar year. So moved.
Second.
Or seconder, questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
And the final motion, Your Worship, is to actually accept the funding for the stimulus program that you alluded to earlier. We got the notification from the province that the funding has been approved. So we have to have a motion for someone to actually sign the contract and accept the money. Go figure, right? Anyway, that as per letter received from the Department of Environment, Climate Change and Municipalities dated January 5th, 2021, the Town of Torbay accept funding under the COVID-19 stimulus program for the depot building retrofit, project number 17 CSP 21-238. So moved.
Second.
Over, seconder, comments, questions? I would certainly never want to be sitting on a council that votes no.
No to that, yes.
Right? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
So ends what I have, Your Worship.
All right. Excellent. Thank you. Economic Development and Tourism. Councillor Martin.
Thank you. We didn't have a meeting yet in the new year. We're meeting this Thursday night coming. However, in the Economic Development Report, there is a January 8th update, and it covers the, excuse me, the economic strategic roadmap. We're expected to receive that from Tract sometime this month for internal review. The quarterly release of the 2021 business bulletin will be January, April, August, and October, with opportunity for special additions in between. Pico Ridge and Manning Memorial Project. Startup meeting with the consultants, Mills and Wright, took place on December 16th. The consultants recommended to create a small steering committee for them to connect with representatives from both the town of Torbay and the town of Portugal Cove St. Phillips, and representation from the Manning family will participate. And this, of course, is the site where our first mayor, Manning, had went down in an airplane. The grant, which we just voted on in the Admin and Finance, there's an update there regarding that for the community garden space. And we also applied for COVID funding, which I believe is stale now at this point. the Veterans Canada Commemorative Partnership Program intake to support the memorial restoration in March. Due to the nature of the in-depth application process, the November 2020 intake was not feasible. Staff will be working towards the application for March. We also touched briefly on culture and heritage. The Economic Development Tourism officers working closely with Director Winter, Public Works, regarding the interpretation work being completed by the project manager for the Torbay History House and Museum. And currently we're reviewing business welcome campaigns that will support the development of a Torbay welcome campaign for all new businesses. Cross collaboration with other internal departments will be necessary for a strong, successful campaign. And that ends my update.
All right, anybody have any questions? No? Thank you. Infrastructure and Public Works, Councillor Thorngas.
Okay, we had our meeting on January 6th, and attendance was Councillor Pollard and our Director Winter. The one big thing that I've got in here to mention is with regards to the History House project. Committee reviewed progress claim number 2, and the claim includes cost of materials currently on site, project progress to date, and invoices in relation to change orders 1 and 3. And it's noted in here in the minutes that the committee noted that they like the way the project is presenting the progress and cost expenditures. And I'd just like to bring to everybody's attention that the invoices are there, and then they even have it broke down with regards to the costs, and like with the headers and the sheets, everything that's in the cost, it's broken down so straightforward that anybody can pick up and look at where it's to. So if we have any questions or any residents will need to look at anything, it's very straightforward, and I'd encourage anybody that's interested to go in and have a look at the actual invoices, because it's really good. I guess they're after setting the level now that we'd expect for anyone else that's managing a project. Committee discussed change order number 4, and I have a motion here that the town of Torbay approve change order number 4, Torbay History House project number 2020-006, which addresses the installation of headers over the windows, additional wrought around the windows and doors in the amount of $14,500 plus HST. So moved.
Second.
Mover, seconder, questions, comments? I agree with you about how they have that stuff laid out there. Just to us going forward, there's a good template to give to other contractors that we have to say this is what we expect, right? So it's really good. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
The rest of it is updates, so it's pretty straightforward. If anybody's got any questions, feel free to ask. If not, so ends my report.
All right, anybody have any questions?
If anybody gets a chance, they should go over and take a look at the History House, because it's coming along fairly well from the sidings on the part facing Comet Lane and part facing Torbay Road itself, and they're starting to look pretty good, actually.
It's good. We've been really lucky with the weather. So, that's going to prevent us, hopefully, from having too many delays. This time last year, certainly, we were up to our necks in snow. And we've been really fortunate with the weather so far this year. So that's that. Thank you. Recreation and Community Services.
Thank you, Mr.
Councillor
Mayor.
Grant.
Okay, we had a Recreation and Community Services meeting on January 5th. I joined in via telephone. Councillor Martin and Director Auckland Ryan were in attendance. The things we discussed were basically the TD Green Space Grant, the applications for $25,000 to support the development of a new community garden and a sensor garden at the Torbay Common Grounds. Torbay Common Grounds. So this is that's a really good thing. So the contribution, a contribution is going to be required from the town on this. So staff's looking into to our budget. Hopefully, we're going to hear a reply in March of this year. We had some discussions about Kennedy's Brook development. Basically, we were trying to meet up with the developers and see if we can all go down together and get a good first-hand look at some potential some land swapping, I guess, if that's the proper term, before the snow eventually gets here. The third thing we talked about were, sorry, got my settings set up to swipe differently than normal. Canada Summer Jobs. The Director of Recreation and Community Services advised that the deadline for Canada Summer Jobs is the end of January. Staff will review and send in the application. Okay. Fireworks. Of course, there's been lots of discussions about fireworks, and over the course of the New Year's celebrations, we did not schedule fireworks this year, and just so all the public knows, the reason why they weren't scheduled and canceled. It was never scheduled in the first place, and I'm a big proponent of fireworks. I've been pushing fireworks even when it was removed before a couple of years ago. For the sake of a couple $1,000, to have the people have a bit of celebration. But of course, one thing we don't have control over is the pandemic and the virus, and it's still going, and we've all been very good about it. So direction has basically come from the provincial government that the municipality has not put off fireworks, particularly municipalities of our size. 8,000 people here. We'd be lying to ourselves if we thought that wouldn't lead to public gatherings. It just would, and that's the last thing we want to encourage from our responsibility standpoint within the town. So unfortunately, we did not schedule them this year. We had I think 2 official inquiries to the town about what was, are we having them or not having them. I did hear that there was lots of talk, I guess, on social media about improving basically the notification that we weren't having them. Of course, we did have them in the guide, and we circulated all council and published on the website and stuff like that. But it's not a bad idea. I don't obviously don't think staff did anything wrong necessarily for not promoting things that hey, we're not doing this type of thing. So I certainly see that point of view and understand and agree, and but also understand that maybe we could make some tweaks if this ever happens, something like this ever happens again. So it couldn't hurt us to maybe send some out in the future, but that's all good. What else were we talking about? Oh, and also, okay. I thought we were going to talk about the personal fireworks, but we're not getting into. We're not opening up that can of worms this meeting. that's a to be continued one, I assume, right? The community guide is as a reference. The community guide has been mailed out on December 2nd, and we've got a short summary of the January programs being offered at the Torbay Common, and of course the COVID-19 protocols are in place. And if anyone has any, it's one thing I would like to say, and I say this all the time, if anyone has any questions whatsoever with the town, or if they're not sure if the town's doing something or not doing something, or what you can and can't do, just pick up the phone, give the town a call. We got staff here who's going to answer it and put you in the right direction. Send an email to the mayor, send an email to staff, send an email to anybody. I highly encourage, if any questions whatsoever, we're here to answer them. That's we've got lots of people that have gone through great pain to be in these seats to answer those questions, and lots of staff that are very good at doing their job when it comes to answer them. So please take the official channels to find out any information you need, and all feedback is welcome, of course. Director of Recreation and Community Services also advised that she's meeting with staff to review survey results of a recent recreation survey. And also just like to inform everyone, I know we sent over emails about this. We actually did have a meeting on January 8th to discuss a rental request. Basically, we have several community groups up at Upper Three Corner Park, using one of our buildings, and of course we had community groups that we were actually giving the space for free to, and part of the providing that space to the Lions Club, to the Scouts, and to the Cubs, and to the Guides, was that, hey, if there is actually revenue, a renter comes in, you're probably going to have to get bumped, and that did happen. And so we did our best to try to accommodate these groups. And we weren't actually able to. We tried to fit them into the rec center, into the common. But almost a victim of our own success. We're booked solid with the rooms in the common. So that's a good thing. So what we did manage to do, and I really just want to thank everyone. This is what I was going to do in my go around for thanks. But we had basically a last minute kind of come together, and I know the director called me or texted me about 10 o'clock on Thursday night and said, call me no matter what time it is. And of course we all came in on the next morning and worked through it and made a couple of phone calls, and we've got the Lions Club, the Cubs, and the Girl Guides all taken care of. So we've managed to move the shell game around, and we're going to take care of that. There won't occur any cost to those organizations right now. So I think it was a really good. Anyway, I'm really happy about that. That's a good thing to to not have, I guess, upwards of 75 kids, torpedo kids, who, of course, during the pandemic, this is even more important than ever. And no one around this table wanted to see those families out in the cold during this critical time. So it was really, I actually warmed my heart. Like kind of a Peggy Roach moment. It was. This is part of the reason why we're here to, big smile on the face. Hey, we managed to save lots of pain for those organizations, I guess, is to put them out, so they would have nowhere to meet otherwise. So, that is the report. And if anyone has any questions, concerns, I'm more than happy to clarify anything.
Councilor Torngass?
I just want that, and I think that it's good where everything is after going to, but I guess I'm just a little concerned that that building was give up for rental when we know that we have so many groups that are in there that would have to be displaced at another time. So I guess my big thing there is to make sure that nothing like that ends up happening again, because I can only imagine what it would be like to go back and tell those groups that their space is no longer available and they have nowhere to go. So I'd like to thank everybody for pulling this off to make it work. But in the meantime, so that we need to ensure that nothing like this happens again with any of our spaces.
Just a quick clarification, if I may, Mr. Mayor. Thanks, Councilor Thorngass. And again, just to reiterate, we had and we talked about this during the budget, I guess the in-camera stuff that we had and going through. It was a council decision to make sure that when and if possible, hey, when we open new recreation centers, try to grandfather as many community groups as we can to accommodate them. And when we did provide the space to those community organizations, it's my understanding that our staff had actually talked with them, and the understanding was, hey, we can give this to you for free, but if it comes along, we might have to bump you, and they're actually okay with that. But I totally agree. I think we need to take a really closer look at that. When push comes to shoves, I'm not in favor
It's
of
one thing for a
kicking someone
night,
out like that, right?
for a
Yeah.
night or two, but it's another thing for a period of time that they would be displaced, so.
Exactly, and I think that was when we did that. I don't think the intention was ever to put a permanent, or at least a long-term displacement on them. Just one-off would be
Yes.
fine, but not permanent. So, thank you for your comments.
All right. Any other questions or comments? No? Okay, thank you very much. Liaison committees, Atlantic Mayors Congress. Anne, could you just make a note that I'll follow up to tomorrow to check on we're going to be hosting that in May, and we got to make sure that we got the all the logistics around that figured out. Intergovernmental affairs, provincial, municipal, there's not really much to update there. Jack Byrne, I don't think there's anything from Jack Byrne, Mr. Tony? No? All right. Northeast Avalon Joint Council, Councilor Gosh, you got a meeting?
We have a meeting
this week?
this Wednesday.
Yeah. Council, the package came out yesterday or today or something.
Yeah.
All right. Royal Newfoundland Constabulary, I don't have an update, but I guess we're going to have a meeting probably in the next little while. But I would like to note that I've received lots of commentary from people who are happy about the fact that we've got a lot more patrols on the go right now in our area, not just our town, but all the towns around here, actually all the towns on the northeast Avalon, including Paradise, CBS, out around everywhere. And they're being much better now about communicating after the fact of they were here, they gave out this many tickets, and I think that the residents are seeing that and are more aware right now that if you're going to be speeding around our town, that the chances of getting stopped by the RNC and receiving a ticket are a lot more likely now than they were probably 3 or 4 months ago. So it seems that our new committee, and I encourage people, and I've got a few emails lately, if you do see things happening that you feel that the RNC should be addressing, please forward that on to me. Also forward it to the RNC, but when I go to the meetings of our Killie Coast Traffic Committee, I will bring those things forward. And it's better if I have timeframes and locations so I can give them accurate information instead of somewhere on some road at some time, because they're not really going to act much on that. But the more information that we give them, the more they can focus their efforts, and the more that they'll be down here trying to keep the road safe. And anyway, that's just a quick update for the community on the RNC and where we're to with that. So once we have another meeting, I'll update again. Torbay Volunteer Fire Department, Councillor Martin.
Thank you. The fire department had their bi-weekly meeting last Monday night, and the next one will be next Monday night. Mayor, as you shared over the weekend on social media, the new fire rescue unit that the fire department purchased has started training this weekend. So I know the fire department, lots of members are happy with that. I'm also happy to see it roll out, and it's a good investment for what we will get on a return. Hopefully we don't need to use it much, but when we do, it's much better service than having to wait for another fire department. So other than that, that ends my report.
Okay. UMC, not really. I don't have any report. We probably going to have one of our quarterly meetings coming up soon. I suspect I'll be getting an email from M&L asking to schedule. So as far as I know, we just had our last M&L board meeting of the year just before Christmas, and we're still meeting remotely through Zoom for now, as everybody seems to be doing. So there's a lot of pressure there to start having the in-person meetings, but when you're dealing with 23 municipalities, and a lot of times you got a couple of members from each town going with your CAO and your mayor or your representative, and then staff from M&L. Now you're getting up to probably 40, 50, 60 people. It's not easy to accommodate that somewhere and be able to social distance. So anyway, I guess we're still learning to live with the COVID. Hopefully, as we hear that vaccines are getting out, that we'll be in a better spot soon. That's the only update I got on that. And anybody have any questions on any of those committees? There's really not much there.
Could I ask one question
Go ahead,
on your
Councillor
last
Rowe. Yeah.
comment there? Does anybody know how close we in the East End, are to getting your vaccinations?
Oh my God. I'd say if I have no idea. I mean, the guess, or what seems like the provincial government is doing, are rolling it out first to the people that are most vulnerable.
That's right.
And healthcare workers and frontline workers and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I guess as they get more vaccine comes in, they'll be able to distribute to more people. So
Yeah.
for us young and healthy people, hopefully we can hold out and keep our distance from people and keep our masks on and follow the rules, and we won't be worried about it,
Yes.
So, but it is promising to see it coming.
It is, yeah. Thanks.
Good, that kind of answer your question, not
Yes,
really?
yes, no, because I've asked many people in higher, that would know, but they don't.
No, nobody seems to know. It's,
They don't.
I
But it's
do.
good that we're getting more vaccinations, vaccines coming in than was first thought that we were going to have. We got more.
I do know that I heard on the radio, on the news this
Yeah.
evening that they have enough vaccine in Labrador for the remote communities to do everybody above 18, so that's really good.
That's really good.
So that's good news, certainly.
Yeah.
Okay. No notice of motion. New business. We'll go that way. Councillor Martin.
Thank you. I just wanted to wish everyone a happy new year. I know this is our last term of council, our last year of this term, sorry. And time certainly goes fast. I always remember, Councillor Glancy, the first night of inauguration. You never know how fast it goes. And before you know it, it'll be over. So it's certainly been interesting working with everyone so far. And I just want to wish everyone a happy new year and look forward to seeing what the year brings.
Thank you. Councillor Roach.
Well, I think I'm after saying thank you. But right from the heart, I mean, you don't know when you come down with something or whatever and you're waylaid to your bed. And, you know, the kind of, you don't know what to do. For instance, like, I really appreciated the phone calls I got, and which, you know, my buddies did. And I really appreciated everything from giving flowers and all that, because it gives you a perk, you know? And even if it's just, hi Peggy, how are you? You know, just a perk, right? And it means the world to me to know that you're all as beautiful and handsome and as ugly as ever. Oh, I didn't mean that.
Sure you did.
but no, it's just great to be back, you know, and hopefully I can stay back now if I can keep me head above water again.
All right, thank you, and we're happy to see you back.
And great team we got, and I hope people and our residents, and I think they do realize that we have got a good team.
Our millions of fans that are watching. Councillor Torngass.
I'd just like to wish everybody, our residents, staff, and fellow councillors a happy new year. And I also like to wish Councillor Scott and the Councillor, Mayor Scott and Mayor Wall good luck in the upcoming nomination. It'll take place later on this week. And I encourage everybody to get out to vote. If you haven't signed up, there's still an opportunity, because we have big shoes to fill with our current MHA, Kevin Parsons, retiring. So anyway, all the best to you both.
Thank you. Councillor Glenn.
I just wanted to say Happy New Year to everybody. Reiterate some of the same things that Councillor Martin had said about, this is our last year of this term, and it has certainly gone fast and it's certainly been enjoyable. So looking forward to a great 2021. And I think I might have gone beyond my time, even just thanking everyone for helping out those community groups at the last minute. We all, again, that's exactly what it's about. We all came together at the last minute and put up some options on the table and tried our best, and we actually figured out a solution. So special thanks to Director and Acting CAO, and of course to Mayor Scott, who was there with me during the meeting and helped save the day for about 75 Torbay families there. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I just got a thanks. It's nice to be back in our chairs after a
Yes,
Christmas
it is.
break. I really tried not to do too much over the break. I mean, there's a lot to this job, as Tony alluded to earlier. It's stressful at times, it's happy at times, and what is always on your mind is 24/7. So it's nice to be able to take that break and try and disconnect from things. It's difficult when your phone is going ding, 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 ding all the time when people are tagging you on Facebook posts or Twitter or whatever, but I mean, that's all part of it. And I just want to thank everybody for the jobs that you've done over certainly the last 3 years, and 2020 in particular was a really tough year. and we all know it, and 2021 is upon us, and, you know, it's hopefully looking up. You know, we just passed a few motions of some significant projects that we got that's going to happen this year, and you know, it seems like every year this term we had something on the go that was significant for the residents. So it's nice to be able to do that, and I just want to thank everybody and the staff for the support that you've given council over the past year, and come on with 2021. And as Councillor Martin said, it's going to go fast. Before we know it, we'll be into summer and elections and everything. So, you know, thank you to everybody. And with that, and I wanted to congratulate the fire department. They did take out their water rescue craft this weekend. I ran over to Whiteaways to go see if I could watch them in action, but I just missed them. I passed down the bypass road. By the time I got back, they were gone. So it's nice. It's a great piece of equipment for the fire department, and it enhances their capabilities to be able to go out in the water and try and rescue somebody if they're in distress. Whereas before they had that boat and that particular training, they're kind of relegated almost to watch from the shore, which is really tough on them, I'm sure. So now they have that capability, and it's not just, it's good for us, but it's good for Flat Rock and everywhere else in the region, as we do have our MOU with the other fire departments. So that is you know, that came together pretty quickly when they asked for that, and we turned that around. So congratulations to everybody for getting that, and to the fire department for utilizing it. And with that, I would ask Ann if there's any questions came in, Ann? No? Okay. So, there were no questions that came in for the Q&A session. Our next public council meeting will take place January 25th, 2021, 6:30 here at the Town Hall. And I would entertain a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
Second.
Seconder, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.